Hey beautiful Hair Lounge community, who is ready to learn how to do faux dreadlock curls? Yeah, I said it, dreadlock curls. Stay tuned, I'll show you exactly what they look like and how to do it on your own hair. I love to call these my faux dreadlock curls because it mimics the way dreadlocks look without the commitment of actually doing dreadlocks on your hair. I suggest getting a small curling iron like this one. This one is probably close to 1/4 of an inch, and it does depend on how long your hair is. So if your hair is a little bit longer, you can get away with a bigger barrel than this, but if you have any questions at all on what size you need to use, don't hesitate to ask me in the comment section below. The biggest thing is gonna take a little bit more time because you do have to use smaller sections. So with my hair, you still want it to be close to the same width as your curling iron. So we're gonna break this up just a tiny bit more so it is not super wide, just like that, and then curl it away from your face. So once you put the curling iron in, the clamp is facing forward the same way your face is facing, and you're gonna take that curling iron in and you're gonna go as close up to the scalp as you possibly can, and you're going to completely twist it. You're gonna slide down the hair and slowly unravel that hair, but then you are gonna twist the hair while it's still clamped, so you're getting that twist right on the hair. Same thing, each time you are unraveling, you're kind of twisting it back up on itself. The more you twist the hair, the more dreadlock it is going to look, which is kind of fun. And then we just keep going down the hair. Just like that. You do not have to worry too much about the ends because we are gonna straighten the ends. So, as you see, the twisting is the most important part of this kind of look because that is going to encase the curl. Now you don't touch it. You can use a little bit of hairspray and spray that section, but you want it to cool completely in that wrapped hair before you run your hands through it. If you run your hands through it, it's gonna kind of loosen that curl. Then you just move on to the next section. So again, put it in, get it as close to the scalp as you possibly can. And then once you start unraveling it, twist that curling iron so it completely twists on top of itself. Unravel and then keep twisting. Unravel, keep twisting. And then unravel again and just keep turning. And then just let it loose. And you're gonna just do that all the way around your head. So I will do a couple more. Now when you move on to this other side, just be sure that that clamp is facing forward and you are curling the hair away from the face. And in the comments, I wanna hear who has ever had dreadlocks. When I was in beauty school, there was a lot of girls that would do temporary dreadlocks or faux dreadlocks, and they would just add, you know, extensions into their hair to make their hair look dread. And I was always super envious because I just am not really that brave. So as you can see, like look at this kind of coiled piece, super, super tight and mimics kind of that really tight twisted look of a dreadlock. And then you just keep moving on. I would say the most important thing is kind of that twisting itself on top of the curling iron. And you will also want to make sure you have a heat protectant on your hair because as you can see, the hair is staying on the curling iron for a while and you do not want to have any burnt sections or any hair falling off or burning your hair off onto your curling iron. So make sure you are using a heat protectant. I am doing this on dirty hair. My hair is not freshly clean and I have tons of heat protectant on my hair previously, so that's why you did not see me spray it on there. But if you are doing this after you freshly wash it, be sure to use and spray that heat protectant on. If you do not know much about heat protectant, I've done tons of videos on it. You can click the link up above and it'll take you to my video of different types of heat protectants I have used and show you how to use them and all the different kinds. Now we have it all curled and we just are gonna let it cool. I'm not gonna run my hands through it whatsoever until the very, very end. So make sure you stay tuned to the very end so that way you can see the final end results. And now is the perfect time to subscribe if you haven't done so yet. When you subscribe, it really helps build our channel and pushes out my videos to a lot more people so they can see, and I always appreciate you guys doing that for me. Okay, let's get up close and personal so you can really see this one super, super close. The longer the hair is, the more twisting you can get out of it. So in these middles and top section, you're really gonna be able to start seeing that dreadlock look. So we're gonna get it completely in the curling iron. And then once we get to almost our mid shaft, that's when we're gonna start dropping it, but then we are gonna twist a lot all the way up to the root. Then when I kind of bounce the clip, it kind of slowly loosens it so then I can drop it again, but we are still twisting. Drop it again, still continuing that twist. Drop again, and again. Again, until you get to the very ends, just like that. And look at all those. They look like almost like Shirley Temple curls, or really kind of the dreadlock look. If you guys are liking what you see and this new technique on how to get these faux dreadlocks, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up because I want to see that you guys are liking the videos that I'm putting out. It really helps me build my content ideas. Now, what I'm gonna do, because we are eventually going to loosen these up a little bit, now I'm gonna start turning these dreads going the opposite way every so often, so then all the dread curls are not clumping together. It's just very similar to if you were gonna do beachy waves or if you curl your hair. If you do it all in the same direction, you start uncombing it, all the curls kind of go together and it looks more like a kind of older 50s curl. And so we definitely don't wanna do that. So we wanna make sure we're kind of alternating those dreads so then it's not gonna bunch together. Here comes the fun and the best part. So now that my hair is a little longer on these top sections, this is where you can really see that dreading kind of take hold. So we're gonna unwrap and keep that twisting going all the way down. You can kind of see this side, it did a really good job right there. And you just literally, the twisting is the key. And I will tell you, with this kind of style, you could do this to your hair, and similar to dreadlocks, it lasts for a very long time. Obviously, the curl, just like a typical curl, is going to soften for a while, and so it may not be as curly or look as dread, like kind of the further you go along. And then I'm gonna kind of show you a couple different ways that you can do this so it's a little bit more modern. But you could curl your hair like this and then not wash your hair for a couple days, but it's gonna give you a different, softer kind of wave or curl later on throughout the week. So I do like to tell people that this is gonna be a hairstyle because it does take a little bit longer to do, but this will be a hairstyle that you could wear for a long time. So as you can see, like that one dreaded really, really good. The more you twist it, the better it is. All right, we're getting close. This is we're almost 1.5 sections to go. Okay, we are now to our very last section, and then that's kind of where the fun begins, with spraying and kind of breaking up these dreads a tiny bit. So now let's spray, and then we're gonna wait and let it cool. Super, super important before you start tugging on these at all. While we wait for it to cool, I'm gonna take my flat iron, and we are just going to make these ends a little straighter. Because if you ever see dreads, they're kind of sealed on the very bottom and they're a little bit on the straighter side on the very, very ends. So we are going to do that now. And this kind of gives it that more modern look, kind of like what I was telling you before. I'm going to kind of give you a variation of different looks. So now that we have that, you can just leave it like this. This makes it look the most like dreads, but if you want a little bit more of a modern twist, you can take and just kind of separate these clumps of curls just a little bit. You're not necessarily raking through it. You are just kind of breaking up those faux dreads, if you will. So then it's not all clumped together. You can brush through it, but sometimes if you brush through it, then it makes it look a little bit frizzier. We definitely do not want a frizzy look. Same as if you were to run your hands through it, you could do that, but we want it to look pretty soft and natural still. So I always just kind of like to take my fingers and just break up some of the dreads. It kind of gives you a little bit more of like a fuller look as well. I want to know what you guys are thinking below in the comments. Are you liking the look of this? Would it be something you would do to your hair? It's a little less scary than doing actual dreads on your hair, which is good. Kind of can ease you into it. Okay, so you can kind of see the difference of this left side, where it's just kind of pulled apart a little bit more, versus this side has a little bit flatter of a look. Okay, now let's break up this side. So that way you can see what it looks like all together, and I'll spin around. And then I'm gonna show you an even more modern look that you can do when you actually comb or brush out the whole thing. You're not gonna use a super small brush. You're gonna use a really wide tooth comb. It almost kind of mimics your fingers running through your hair, but I will use a little bit of product so then the dread look will not get frizzy. But then it kind of gives you more of a beach wave look, just a little bit tighter. Kind of reminds me of when I was little and I would braid my hair in super tight braids. It kind of reminds me of that. What do you guys think? It's kind of a fun, different take on how to do faux dreadlocks. I personally think it's kind of rockerish and I really like it. Let me turn around so then you guys can see what it looks like in the back. So now we're going to use a wide tooth comb with a little bit of oil to kind of combat that frizz, and we are going to rake through them just to break them up for a completely different look. Still more of the faux dreadlock look, but with more of a modern take on it to where it looks a little bit more like beach waves. Again, like I said, you could use your fingers like this, or you could take a wide tooth comb and brush through it. I personally like my fingers because it doesn't completely break them up all the way. Hey, here it is. Comb completely out. What do you guys think? If you don't want it as straight at the ends, you can take your curling iron again and kind of retwist those ends if you don't want them to be as straight as mine are right now, and kind of just spin just like we did before, just on those very end pieces, so then they're not nearly as straight on kind of the front. This side looks pretty good because it has curl all the way through, but this side got straightened a little bit. So it's all personal preference, but you can go back through and just do the ends if you don't want them super straight. But this is my take on faux dreadlocks using just a small curling iron. I like it. I think it's super fun. I am used to having my hair pulled back off my face, so you could still, style this however you want, pulling some hair back, but I love the look of having a little bit more wave to it. Let me kind of spin around so you can see now that we kind of raked through that. Super fun. I want to know what you guys think in the comments below. Would you do this to your hair? If you do, don't forget to follow me on social media. You can go to my Instagram. I'm also on TikTok, and I want you to share with me if you try this style on your own hair. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this faux dreadlock video, and we will see you guys all next time. Bye-bye.